Russia starts starving, not on the battlefield, not in speeches from the Kremlin, but in kitchens, pharmacies, and supermarkets across the country. This is not a story about missiles or tanks. This is a story about food not arriving, medicine disappearing, and shelves going empty. And right now, Russia is facing its worst logistics collapse in 17 years. Nearly 7,000 transport companies are on the brink of bankruptcy. Fuel is scarce. Drivers are gone. Borders are clogged. When trucks stop, shelves empty. When shelves empty, regimes don't last. Russia spans 17 million square kilometers across 11 time zones. In this geography, logistics is not convenience. It is biological survival. In Europe, a truck can cross multiple countries in a day. In Russia, a single delivery can take thousands of kilometers through forests, frozen plains, and -30-degree winters. For decades, Russia survived because of three systems: railways, pipelines, road transport. Railways moved bulk cargo. Pipelines moved energy. Trucks handled the final delivery: food, medicine, and daily goods. But since the war began, this system has been violently restructured. Railways that once carried grain, medicine, and consumer goods now carry tanks, artillery, ammunition, and soldiers. Civilian cargo was pushed aside. That forced the entire civilian economy onto one last lifeline: the highways, from Moscow to Siberia, from the Urals to Vladivostok. Those highways became the final artery keeping Russia alive, and now that artery is collapsing. Russia has oil, but Russian truck drivers can't find diesel. Why? Because Ukraine attacked Russia where it hurts most: its refineries. Since early 2025, Ukrainian drones have struck 21 of Russia's 38 largest oil refineries. Key facilities like Syzran, Ryazan, and Nizhny Novgorod suffered heavy damage, especially to distillation towers. The result? Russia's refining capacity collapsed by 17 to 20%. Russia still has crude oil, but crude oil doesn't move trucks. Diesel does, and diesel is now scarce. Prices exploded. Before the war, diesel cost around 65 rubles per liter. Today, official prices range between 85 and 90 rubles. On the black market, prices exceed 100 rubles per liter. A long-haul truck carries 800 to 1,000 liters of fuel. That means a single refill now costs 70,000 to 85,000 rubles. For transport companies already operating on thin margins, this is not inflation. This is execution. Fuel and maintenance costs have risen by 50%. At the same time, freight rates have fallen by 33%. Every kilometer driven loses money. The Kremlin made a choice: fuel for tanks first, fuel for civilians last. To protect military supplies, the government limited diesel sales to 200 liters per truck per transaction. On paper, it sounds manageable. In reality, it is catastrophic. 200 liters gives a heavy truck 500 to 600 kilometers of range. Russia is thousands of kilometers wide. A driver traveling from Novosibirsk to Moscow needs roughly 1,500 liters of fuel. What does 200 liters mean in practice? It means stopping constantly, waiting hours in freezing lines, paying bribes, buying black market fuel at insane prices. A delivery that once took 3 days now takes 10 days or more. Vehicles wear out faster, drivers cost more, schedules collapse. This is how logistics systems die, not suddenly, but through slow strangulation. Russia's trucking industry was built on European machines: Volvo, Scania, MAN, Mercedes. Reliable, durable, efficient. Sanctions destroyed that foundation overnight. Spare parts disappeared. A broken sensor, a damaged brake pad, a failed engine component. What once took days to replace now takes months, if parts can be found at all. On the black market, prices are 4 to 5 times higher. So companies do what desperate systems always do: they cannibalize themselves. One truck is dismantled to keep another running. Each month, the total fleet shrinks. Today, nearly half of European trucks sit idle, rotting in yards, while companies wait for parts that may never arrive. Russia turned to China. Manufacturers like Sino-Truck and Shackman flooded the market, but these trucks come with serious problems. Prices have doubled, poor performance in extreme cold, frequent breakdowns, weak service networks, and in 2026, a new blow arrives: a recycling fee of 3 million rubles per truck. For small and medium companies, fleet renewal is impossible. The investment model has collapsed. The trucks aren't just broken, they're empty because the drivers are gone. Military mobilization drained the transport sector dry. Truck drivers are typically physically fit, mechanically skilled, experienced in logistics. From the military's perspective, they are perfect recruits. So, they were conscripted. Others fled the country. Some switched careers to avoid the draft. The result? Thousands of trucks sit idle, not because engines failed, but because there is no one left to drive them. The Army offers signing bonuses that bankrupt trucking companies cannot match. So while trucks rust in yards, the men who should be delivering food are dying in Ukraine. This is economic self-destruction. Inside Russia, logistics is collapsing. Outside Russia, it is being crushed. The European Union closed its borders to Russian-registered trucks. Routes built over decades vanished overnight. Thousands of companies lost their markets instantly. Russia turned to China. But China's border crossings were never designed to carry an entire nation's imports. At Zabaikalsk and Blagoveshchensk, hundreds of trucks wait every day. Delays stretch from 12 to 20 days. Drivers live in metal cabins at minus 30 degrees Celsius. Kazakhstan is even worse. At the Mashkovo crossing, backlogs exceed 7,500 trucks. Some drivers have waited 47 days to cross. Poland and the Baltic states didn't officially close their borders. They slowed them to a crawl. Every document, every pallet, every truck scrutinized. Crossing times stretched to 2 weeks. This is not trade. This is logistical torture. Now the crisis reaches the kitchen. Butter prices skyrocketed 30 to 50%. Supermarkets in Moscow and St. Petersburg locked butter in security cases, the same ones used for vodka and caviar. 2 men robbed a Moscow store. Their loot? 25 packs of butter. Their punishment? 10 years in prison. 10 years for butter. Potatoes, the survival food of the poor, are becoming unaffordable. Transporting them from fields to cities costs more than they're worth. The cost of making a simple soup is rising faster than wages. When poor people can't afford potatoes, you are not facing inflation. You are facing revolution chemistry. Moscow still looks normal. That's the illusion. In the regions, reality is brutal. In Samara, shelves sit empty. No eggs, no chicken, no vegetables. Authorities blame the weather, but the shelves stay empty, even on clear days. In Penza, a grocer summed it up perfectly. No flour, no hope. Large retailers prioritize the capital to keep elites calm. The regions are left to starve. This is how resentment grows. Food is not the only casualty. Insulin, critical antibiotics, delayed, unavailable, gone. Patients search pharmacy after pharmacy. Factories halt production because German machines can't be repaired. A country capable of launching missiles across continents cannot deliver medicine to its own people. In 1990, Soviet fields produced record harvests. 40% of that food rotted. Why? No trucks, no fuel, no distribution. The Soviet Union did not fall on battlefields. It collapsed in supermarket lines. Putin called that collapse the greatest catastrophe of the century. Now he is rebuilding it, piece by piece. Same priorities, same mistakes, same ending. They die when people go hungry, when shelves empty, when medicine disappears, when propaganda can't feed children. Russia's trucks are slowing. And when they stop, the consequences will not be negotiable. The question is no longer whether Russia faces crisis. The question is whether hunger will force change, or whether deprivation becomes permanent. What do you think? Can any regime survive empty shelves? Leave your thoughts below.